Hi, I'm Josh Steffler with wearechange.victoria.org on Freedom Free for All TV, and I'm here with Dr. Tim Ball. Thanks, Dr. Tim, for appearing here. Just want to ask a quick question about environmentalism. As one of the leading climatologists in the counter side of global warming, carbon communism, you know, they'll say that because you're a climate change denier, you're not an environmentalist. So I'd like to ask you, are you an environmentalist, and what's your stance on the environment and pollution in general?
I think the vast majority of people are environmentalists to a greater or lesser extent. And what's happened is a few have taken the moral high ground that only they care about the environment. And it is, of course, the new paradigm that I talked about in a previous program, that we become aware of the environment, and people are trying to come to terms with it. Yes, I've probably done more actual things to improve the environment, change the environment, than even, say, the Suzuki Foundation, because I've helped farmers and foresters and people in ordinary lives and jobs who are being negatively affected by what these people are doing and saying. And for example, I learned very quickly in my climate studies that the single most devastating impact on humans is drought. And I've worked, I chaired water commissions, conflicts over water. I chaired the Assiniboine River Management Advisory Board, where people were arguing over water in the river, and we came up with a management strategy for a whole drainage basin. And very few people have had the privilege of doing that. I also was chair of the City of Winnipeg's Hazardous Waste Committee and dealing with hazardous waste. So yeah, I decided some time ago that with TV, if I'm on, I want them to put environmentalist under my picture, because people come on there with environmentalists and say, well, what gives them the right to do that?
Yeah.
Where did they get that training? And of course, it's this usurping of authority that is going on with environmentalism.
And a monopolization of the term environmentalism to
exactly.
divide us, so that...
Well, it's part of what's going on in the society in general, because we're in a world now where if you're not with me, you must be against me. It's a confrontational world, which is not the way to resolve problems.
No, and it's not true at all. Just because you're not with somebody does not mean that you're against somebody.
Exactly.
There's not A or B.
No.
There could be C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, you know?
A whole gradation, exactly. But, you know, to put it into sexual terms that people can relate to, it's only recently that the world has acknowledged that there's heterosexuals and homosexuals. The reality is it's a complete gradation of sexuality. But it's one of the things about understanding and putting things in perspective is classification. I mean, if you look at biology, the Linnaean classification system, which Darwin said he couldn't possibly have done the work he'd done without that classification system. I mean, there's limits on it. For example, they got the duck-billed platypus, and they didn't know where to put that. And now we got transsexuals, and we don't know where to put them. But it's just part of the growing knowledge and awareness and understanding of the massive diversity that is nature and the environment.
The evolution of society, really.
Exactly.
Okay, so there you have it. The climate communists do not have a monopoly on being an environmentalist. It turns out that this renowned climatologist that's really demonized by the green agenda is actually an environmentalist. So, you know, next time you are talking to climate change people or climate alarmists, climate deniers, you know, try to have an open mind and actually listen to what the person's saying and not throw them just into a box and judge them before hearing their own words. Tim, I'd like to thank you for coming on our show. My name's Josh. I'm with wearechange.victoria.org and Freedom Free for All TV. What did you think of that? If you're an environmentalist, you know, send us your ideas. If you're not an environmentalist or you think that we're not environmentalists because obviously we're climate deniers, send us your opinions, send us your thoughts, send us your videos. And until next time, be safe and be free.